Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. I've made a video on this before, but never this much information, I don't think. I used to make puzzles like this, and they're really unique, really easy to make that pattern if you remember the Alt key. Let's take an ellipse and hold down the control button so it's perfect. Then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. This is going to determine how thick this line is right here. So we're going to call that good. I'm going to go ahead and group it together, Control G, Control D. And I'm going to grab the four-sided cross or arrow and start moving. That's what happens when you don't get the four-sided. And start moving. Let me start over. Let me make sure there's just one copy now. See, I got two copies. There we go. Control D, four-sided cross or arrow, and start moving it and lock it right there. And then when you do that, you Control D again. Now group this together, Control G, Control D, and do the same thing with the four-sided cross. And I'm holding down the control button so it's perpendicular. And you could have as many as you want. But here's where the Alt key comes into play. It's going to save you a lot of time with the virtual segment delete key. Instead of going through here and trying to cut, if you will hold down the Alt key, it'll help you draw a line. And look at that. Take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. And you don't have to use my colors, virtual segment delete key. Hold down the Alt key, and see, it makes you just kind of like draw a line. I'm doing something. Well, I didn't get this factor right here. That's how easy that is. And if you ever want to make a puzzle, you would just have that line almost touching, and you could just fill in you don't have to stop where I did. Let's back up here, and you could go to make a puzzle, hold down the Alt key, hold down the Alt key. See what happens when you don't hold down the Alt key, you get a square. Well, hold down the Alt key and you'll get this. And then that's the start of your puzzle right there. And I could have done the same thing with the red and then just, make 2 connect, 3 connect, 4 connect, 5 connect. And then when you're ready, just take these and just nudge them out of the way so you could get your lines out of the way. And there you have that. The Alt key, it really helps in those situations. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.